Hey, this is Mr. K, and I'm going to quickly go in and show you. You have clicked on the 4-5 place value assignment in Schoology. And if I was to go back a section here and notice you've already completed all your work up to the folder bookwork page 4 and 5. You're currently watching the video for page 4 and 5, but you are actually going to be doing the 4-5 place value from the book. Here's the directions. Page 4 and 5, place value problems. You're only going to do numbers 1 through 6, and I'll show you those in a second. Each problem will need 3 answers. Please watch 4 or 5 video, which you're doing right now. Submit answers by clicking on the Submit Answers button. And you'll have a Submit Answers button over here. Only give answers in the format like the following in red. Answers again, only. So here's what an example problem will look like. You'll have what is the value of 7 in the number 2,473,175. And notice there are 2 7s in here, so it's pretty tricky. None of them work like that, so I guess I shouldn't use that. I'll probably change that for you guys, make it a different number. What is the place of the 4 and what is the value of the 4? And so here's my answer. I chose this 70,000. I'll show you how we get there. 400,000 is in words, and the C part, the third question, is going to be 400,000. I'll show you how we get there in a second, but notice each question will have 3 answers. A and C are going to be numbers, and the middle question will always be words. So you would click on this, and yours will look a little bit different than mine. You'll have to scroll up and down. On mine, I have it side by side. Okay, so let me really quick. This is page 4, and page 5 will be the work. Let me read the directions to you. Place value. Let me change the cursor as well. Whole numbers are formed from the 10 digits 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That means 10 and 11 and 12. They're all whole numbers. They're made up of all these digits right here. Okay, so far so good. The place value table below shows the value of the digit in the number. The value of the digit in the number has a place value. A place value table is based on groups of 10. There are going to be 2 things that we're looking at today. We're going to be looking at the word value, and we're also going to be looking at place value. Here is your place value table. One of the most important things to remember is that every number has a decimal. Your page will not have a dot here, okay? It will look exactly like that. You need to know that this is a number, a whole number, and it has a decimal all the way to the right, okay? Which then helps us. We're going to go up here in our table, and we're going to put that dot there. Now we know that the next number to the left of the decimal will be the ones group. Then you're going to have the tens group, and you're going to have the hundreds after that. You use a comma. Notice the second group is made up of thousands. But look at the wording. 1, 10, hundreds, 1, 10, hundreds. But this is going to be 1,000, tens, thousand, 100,000. The third group that you need to memorize will be made up of millions. 1 millions, 10 millions, 100 millions. So again, it's always 110 hundreds, 110 hundreds, 110 hundreds. You just know you go from the ones groups to the thousands to the millions. And every number has a decimal. So in our problems, we have 3 example problems right here that we're going to look at. And then we're going to do problem number 1 on the next page together. And that's going to leave you 5 pages to work on your own. It says, use the place value table above, answer the questions. When you're doing the work over on the next page, always refer back to the previous page for help or the video that we're making. What is the value of 2 in the number 2,483,175? First thing I need to do is I got my decimal, and here's my 2. Okay, I'm going to underline it to help me. So if I have my decimal, I have my decimal. This 5 is in the 1, that 7's in the 10, 1 is in the hundreds, 3 is in the thousands, 8 is in the 10,000s, 4 is in the 100,000s, and the 2 is in the 1 millions. Now the easiest thing to do, they don't want the place value, they just want value, which means you are going to write your 2 and all the numbers after to the right of the number that you underline are going to become 0. The 4 is a 0. The 8 is a 0. The 3 is a 0. And you can go back and you can put your commas in too. That's okay. And this is a little tough for me because I'm trying to do numbers on a mouse, and it is not the easiest thing. So I apologize. That means my 1 became a 0, my 7 became a 0, and my 5 became a 0. What is the value of the 2? Well, the 2 was in the 1 millions, which makes it valued 2 million. And you can see that is what we have right here. So when it asks for value, you need to write a number. Okay, let's go to example number 2. Again, what is the value of the 4 in that same number? So we know we're talking value, which means it's got to be a number. So go down here. You can do this on side paper or whatever you have at home to help you. Underline the 4 because that's what they want you to do. You are not going to worry about the 2 because it comes before it. So you are going to write your 4. This time the 8 is a 0. The 3 is a 0. I can put my comma in. My 1 is a 0. My 7 is a 0. And my 5 is a 0. And what is the value of that 4? That value of the 4 is now 400,000. That's how we come up with that. Quickly to the third example. What is the value of the 7 in 2,483,175? Again, it's only the word value, which means it's number. So the 7, go down here. Here's your 7. Underline it. You should know now, after you underline, you do not worry about the numbers before the underline. You only write the underlined number, and the 5 becomes a, yeah, you got it, 0. So what is the value of the 7 in this large number? It's 70. Well, which makes sense because that's 75. 7 is in the tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. When you have 7 groups of 10, that is the number 70. 7 in the tens makes up the number 70. Okay, so disregard the box, okay? I'm going to use this chart over here to help us, and you are never going to have to do the cooperative learning. You are only doing numbers 1 through 6, and I'm going to help you with number 1 really, really quick, and then you can begin your assignment. Please understand that in each problem, you need 3 answers, and notice the numbers change for each problem. The numbers are completely different. Okay, that's what I want to make sure. Like over here, we used the same number, same number, same number. We did not use the same number in our work. Okay, let's go to work. Remember, you have a question A. You're going to have a question B. And a question C for each problem. Now notice letter A and letter C ask for value. So A and C in all of these problems are going to be a number. The middle question, letter B, is going to be a number. Okay, what is the value of the 9? Every number has a decimal. So to shorten this and make this quicker, I'm just going to pretend that my question mark is a decimal. I'm going to just put it right there, okay? That makes the 1 in the ones, 9 in the tens, 7 is going to be in the hundreds. Then I have a comma, that's 5,000, 5 in the thousands, 6 in the 10,000s, 3 in the 100,000s. So the value of the 9 is right here. I'm just going to underline it, right? Because it's just a number, underline it. I'm going to write it down, and all numbers after are going to be 0. I do not worry about any of the numbers before. So an A is going to be 90, all right? And I'm just going to, on my submit answers, I just need you to put number 1, put an A, and your answer, you can put a little dash, it's going to be 90, okay? Now let's go to question B. Question B is a word. You're going to need a word because it says place, and I'm going to put that in a box so that you can see that it's totally different. Now, when they're referring to place value, they're referring to a word. They need to know, is it this place? Is it this place? Or this place? Okay, so what is the place of the 6? Go back to this number, find your 6. You can go ahead and underline it really quick if you need to help. 1 is in the ones, 9 is in the tens, 7 is in the hundreds, 5 is in the thousands, and 6 is in, right here, would be in the 10,000s. So for B, and to help me out, to keep it short, I'm just going to be, I'm going to put T, 10,000, TT. I want you to write out the word 10,000. You can spell it. It's right here. N and then the word thousands, because you're in the thousand section. And then finally, back to letter C, we're back to a number because it asked for a value. And it wanted to know the value of the 3. So I go up here, there's my 3, and I know I'm writing the number down, 3, and all numbers after are going to be you got it, a 0. Then that's with a comma, not a decimal, that's not a decimal, that's a comma. And so the 6 becomes a 0, the 5 became a 0, the 7 becomes a 0, the 9 becomes a 0, and the 1 becomes a 0. So the value of the 3 is 300,000. And that is how you're going to do the assignment. Once again, you're going to do number 1, but your answers are right here. I'm helping you out. You're then doing 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, make sure that you are using this format right here. See how I have number 1? And then I have, okay? Now notice those are not the same as the one from the book because I used a different number there. All right, good luck. Watch the video several times. And one other thing, if you want a different place value chart, a better one than what I've got in the book, if you go back here and you go into your tools for chapter 1, you're going to have a place value chart that you can use right here. So it's a little bit more color for you. I don't know what happens if you double click and if you can make that larger, but there it is for you. And again, here you're not going to use the purple section on this one because your decimals right here, so you're only going to use the lightish pink. Ones, tens, hundreds, and that's going to be thousands. And then or that's the 1 section. Then 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s, and then millions, 1 millions, 10 millions, 100 millions. And that only just goes up to 1. But it's a good chart to begin right now to have some practice. Okay. Good luck.